great to hear here, not to fall off the stage. It's my great pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to all of you this morning to SPPA's AGM and Annual Conference 2014. Absolutely delighted to see so many of you and to see you all here this Saturday morning. It's just fantastic. And although it's our 47th year in SPPA, this is only my second year as Chief Executive, although I can't believe actually that a year has passed already, more than a year has passed already since I took up this post and have had the great privilege to be working with SPPA. Last year we had asked the delegates as part of our evaluation what did they think about the timing of our conference, and it was rather unusual, if not unheard of, to have our annual conference on a Saturday. But a number of you, quite a large number of you, have said that you would like a Saturday because for various reasons. It meant there wasn't cover required back at the ranch, and also it meant that you could maybe come with colleagues, because sometimes when it's during the week you can maybe only have one person leaving the workplace. So it looks as if it suited quite a number of you, and we definitely have people from across Scotland here today. We have people from Shetland, right across to Ireland. We welcome Maureen, who's director of a similar organisation, Early Years in Ireland, to SPPA, albeit a bigger organisation than SPPA, so welcome from Ireland, and all the way down to the Borders and Dumfries and Galloway. So welcome to all of you. And if you want to have a wee look around the room and just have a look at the numbers here today, and I'm going to ask you to take 1 minute, and I'm only allowed 1 minute only, just to maybe introduce yourselves at your table so that you know who you're sitting beside. I know what it feels like when you're sitting at a table and you think, oh, this is me. I usually think, I'm sure I know her from somewhere. So it will avoid that, if you're having to go through that, if you just take 1 minute to say hi to colleagues at your own table. Now that you all know one another extremely well, you've got new best friends, I'll bring you back, and I hope that kind of networking theme will continue throughout the event today, because obviously it's a very important aspect of a conference such as this, that you have that networking going on throughout the day. So see how many people you can introduce yourself to. Don't be shy, go and speak to people while you have the opportunity. I'm sure today, apart from networking, is going to be a fabulous opportunity and a fun-filled event, which is full of inspirational learning for all of us. We have great speakers. We have the Lesley Children's Choir, we have the Minister, we have so many people. We've got Pam, what more can we ask? So we're going to have a fabulous day today. And I'm just going to add to that about the tweeting. Pam mentioned tweeting. Our hashtag for today, there are certainly a growing number of tweeters, and our hashtag for today is hashtag SPPA14. So if I can encourage you, oh sorry, I beg your pardon, hashtag SPPA2014. Yeah. And if I can encourage you to do that, I am getting a bit better at it, certainly no expert. In fact, sometimes I do feel that I've never quite cracked that feeling of maybe being rude when someone's talking and I'm, it looks as if you're texting, doesn't it, when somebody's talking. So if you see me with my phone today, speakers, you'll know that I'm not doing my Tesco online shopping. And honestly, tweeting, maybe next year actually in our delegates bag we'll give you hats that say tweeting, not texting, and then you feel okay to use your phone when people are speaking. Okay, so on that note then, I'm going to hand you back to Pam, and I hope you all have a fabulous day. We've got a fabulous venue, fabulous speakers, fabulous programme, fabulous audience. And so, what else can we do but have a fabulous day? Thank you very much.
Ah! I hope people realise that it's a real privilege to work with small children. And in doing that, they have a huge responsibility, now linked to the notion of like social justice as well as everything else. So such an important job means that certain things are going to be more significant than others. And I think at the moment, the most significant thing is, one, that the children really are talked to, so that the staff are very comfortable to have conversations and relax with the children and actually spend time talking to them and listening to them. I think the second thing is they have fun. This is a marvellous opportunity to have fun with the children and really engage with them and play with them and extend their thinking through play and imaginative opportunities, and weave language into all of that. And then the third thing, because we're busy, so we can't do everything in one go, is a home learning environment. Create a bridge between the home and the nursery to strengthen how parents understand and support children's learning at home, because then we close that loop, and then I think it's a real point for success in the long term.
Well, I would hope that I'll be speaking much today about what it is to be human, about the notion that over the years we have spoken a great deal about professionalism. Technical skills are important, professionalism is important, but children particularly identify with the human skills and the human attributes. Those are the things they need to pick up in early years. They don't have to learn the professional skills and technical skills until they're a little older. So I think it's important that we remember, first of all, we're humans, and allies those attributes of compassion, of empathy, and hopefully that people will take their whole self to work every day so that they do it. Because if you don't, people who are not cared for don't care. So children need to recognise that. So I suppose it's about relationships, and the Minister mentioned that, because that's the things that change the world. Relationships, no big plans and strategies and policies. People and relationships change the world.
Scottish Swimming understands the importance of the early years, and for this reason we've developed a specific qualification for our swimming teachers, and it is about the quality provision that we provide to children aged 0 to 5. In Scotland, 30% of children leave school unable to swim, so we're trying to sort of address this statistic by creating the qualification, quality provision within early years swimming, within sort of local authorities, private swimming providers. Then we hope that we increase the amount of children going swimming during that time, and then that will hopefully alleviate that statistic of 30% of children unable to swim when they leave school.
Well, there are a few certainties in life, but one for sure is that technologies and computers will be part of our children's everyday lives as they grow up. And that's something that encouraged me to join Computer Explorers and to start the business in this in Scotland, the first Computer Explorers in Scotland, actually. So there's no doubt whatsoever that we need to encourage our children to learn through IT. And it's about the blended learning, not just about sitting in front of the PC. It's about using hardware and software. Learning experiences will be delivered without them even knowing that they're learning, because of game-based learning, robotics, science through microscopes. So it's a delight to use technology, because I'm passionate about technology myself. So yes, that's one of the things that I have been doing over the last 5 years, is trying to encourage others to use technology in the learning environment. And I think it's a key time now, because technology has never been easier to adopt, both from a skills level and from a cost perspective. Price of technology comes down. It's always expensive to begin with, and it comes down. And for educators, it's the best time, because there's loads of equipment out there which isn't expensive to buy. And in an early years environment, we don't need to go buy 20 or 30 pieces of equipment, generally one or two. So from a cost perspective, it is affordable. Technology such as interactive whiteboards, tablets like iPads and Android devices, through to the robotics devices, even Bebot, and our old friends been around for years, stretching what we can do with Bebot, learning programming through Bebot, logic, problem solving. There's loads of things we can do. It's not all about the technology itself, it's about the learning experiences that the technology can deliver and engage our children. Prepare them for the future, effectively.
I think that the overarching theme, and what I hope came across in the presentation today, was about change and how we're trying to change Glasgow. If you stick with some of the messages from Early Years Collaborative about every system is perfectly designed to get exactly the results it gets, when you look at the results Glasgow's been getting for a number of years, they're not good enough. They're not good enough for children, they're not good enough for families. So what we're trying to do with One Glasgow is significantly change that, to really think about how we work alongside families, doing with, not doing to, and really change things for them, change relationships, change outcomes. It's very hard. And I think probably the single most important thing to tell people is, while it is hard, it is really worth it. You have to be consistent. You have to be persistent. If I had thrown in the towel every time I felt like throwing in the towel, we wouldn't still be here 3 years later moving forwards with it. It is very, very hard work. But when you see the impact you can have on a family who all they needed was us to wrap ourselves around them and offer that little bit of support at the time that they needed it, it's absolutely worthwhile.
The key points would be that food is a great way to express care and nurture with children. Quality experience can be had in childcare settings through learning about food. It encourages children to increase their social skills. They're also able to make healthy choices, and the staff can role model these choices with the children.
I don't think that there has been a time when there has been so much focus on early learning and childcare. There's a level of enthusiasm, excitement, which is really quite tangible, no matter where you are and whatever setting you are in Scotland at the moment. The Children and Young People Act, launched earlier this year in February, renewed this focus on early learning and childcare. And with everything else new, there's always challenges, but also opportunities to think differently. But we have an early years and childcare workforce willing to make changes and make those changes a success. I've led the creation of Building the Ambition, which is the national guidance, which has been my role for the last year. And I'm extremely grateful to all those national partners who have played a leading role, and SPPA have done so. The overarching message is one of quality. We know that children thrive and learn best in a high quality early learning and childcare setting. We all need to rise to the challenge to do a little more and to make early learning and childcare better. That's what Building the Ambition is all about. As a little 3-year-old said to me very recently, "I'm still learning." How true is that for us all? And really, it's no bad thing.
I think the main thing I would like people to take away today is to feel very empowered to go away and test and gather some data and measurement around some of the work that they're involved in their setting, and think about how they might scale that up within the setting or across other settings, and share that with other partner organisations that they're working with in a way that helps to improve outcomes and embed really good practice across a whole system.
Okay, so for the model for improvement, I'd like people to see beyond the scary bits and the data and all the terminology around about the model for improvement, and think about the changes that they want to make for them in their setting, for their children and their families, and then think about how they could use that model for improvement to make a difference.
I hope to see the benefit of the SPPA involvement within the prison environment and the impact it has on relieving the pressure of imprisonment on the kids involved with the dads being in prison.
And part of the work, obviously, in partnership with the prison service, and in particular with HM Moss on this occasion, it's around prevention and early intervention, because we do know about that reoffending cycle, both the generational reoffending cycle, as well as the prisoners themselves going out of prison and back into prison, often because family relationships have broken down whilst they've been in prison. So we try to maintain and support and strengthen and help in partnership with the prison staff those very important family relationships.
One of the largest benefits I see working with the fathers is the opportunity for them to learn how to play with their children, because a lot of the time they've never experienced that kind of opportunity with their own dads, and it's part and parcel of a life that's been very centred around about maybe alcohol or drug use, and the focus has very been much away from the children. Whereas what the SPPA offer is focus on the child and the benefits of that interactive play, both in the educational aspect with the child and its upbringing. And I think it's a fantastic tool to have in place for somebody that's never really experienced that the opportunity themselves when they were younger.
And it's just tremendous how much, in terms of the prison service, obviously the prison service are really the leaders in the sense that they have recognised the very important part of the family and not just seeing the prisoner, but thinking about the impact, a much wider impact with the children and the wider family and for society as well. And that's very much being supported through the Scottish Prison Service and then at prison level as well. And so for us to be able to engage with children and families in that particular setting is very, very rewarding because of the kind of impact that may well have.